Join me in painting some cute red pandas. Some of you might recall I did a series of animals in 2021, and while I absolutely loved some of them, I wanted to paint them all again. This was because I felt my style has changed a lot over the past year and has been leaning more towards something simplified, and I dare say it's also become cuter. I admit I wasn't pleased with how some of the original paintings turned out because I felt they were overworked and turned out to be a little bit stiff. Of course, this is something that can happen when you're trying to add a lot of details, and even when you focus too much time and energy on certain parts of an image. I embarked on this project in October 2022, which was my participation in the Arttober Art Challenge with my own topic. Though I didn't share a list of what animals I was drawing, and I know it could have been easy to share the animal list from the previous year, but I also decided to change some of the animals, and I didn't have my full list of animals at the time the challenge started. What's kind of funny about this series is that the moment I finished the images, I decided to draw them all again, immediately, as in starting in the beginning of November. This is of course something that can and should be ironed out during the thumbnail and sketch phase of a project, but silly me might have cut some corners and didn't really make any sketches for these illustrations. Whoops. My issue with the October series was that I thought I made them cute enough, and don't get me wrong, I still consider them pretty cute, but I didn't simplify them as much as I wanted to. And you might ask, why didn't I realise until the series was finished? Well, the thing is, I actually did. I realised I was adding too many details while I was somewhere in the middle of the series. And as I was in the middle of both an art challenge and a series, I didn't want to change my style in the middle of it either, so I stuck out the first series and started a new one afterwards. Though while it might sound a bit backwards, it also shows that I can stick to a style for an extended series of illustrations. Though what's more important was that it allowed me to get more familiar with the animals, which gave me another frame of reference that wasn't just the reference images I looked at. It also pushed me to simplify beyond what I did in the first series. Therefore, the second time round, I built on the images I made in the first series and worked on exaggerating proportions and making things even cuter. Would I recommend going through an entire series only to have to redo it? No, you shouldn't need to finish a series only to redo it right away. If you realise your style is off in the middle of a project or a series, then it's better to experiment a bit more and find the right style, if time allows. And if you feel a style change might work better for your personal project, then it might be beneficial to make changes right away, which means that you only have to redo the images you weren't happy with. Changing things immediately saves time, and you don't want to give yourself more work than needed. Of course, if it's a commission, things are a bit different. You can't just change a style your client agreed to. But even then, it might be possible to show off different styles and hear what they think about a potential style change. This is also why it's wise to get feedback on commissions when one illustration is close to finish, as it saves you time so you only have to redo one piece rather than a whole set of images. Usually, I find when I limit my colour palette, I tend to simplify my style. Amusingly enough, both images in this video were painted with the same amount of colours and even maybe the exact same colours. But apparently, 7 colours weren't enough for me to automatically simplify and use the correct style from the get-go. Throughout the image series, I used a lot of the same colours, which helps create a consistent look for the series on top of the style. Though how many colours I use per animal depends on the colours of the animal itself, as some of them are naturally more colourful than others. So I couldn't set a specific number of colours I used per animal, so it might vary a bit. If you have any questions about my process, please let me know in the comment section, and I'll do my best to answer them and maybe even bring them up in another video. Thank you so much for watching. More process videos are up on my YouTube channel, but you can also find more of my work on my website and on social media.